Have you ever seen a face in the courtroom that once graced your childhood? A face you knew so well, only to discover behind it a story of pain, betrayal, and the fragile hope for redemption? If you believe in the power of second chances, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because this journey is one you will never forget. Elena Marquez pressed her hand to the cool surface of the oak-paneled bench, drawing strength from the centuries-old wood. As she glanced at the packed gallery, family members, reporters, and curious onlookers awaiting the verdict, her heart thrummed with a tension she had never known. This was no ordinary case. The defendant seated before her was Amir A.J. Khan, her best friend from middle school. They had shared secrets on creaking gym floors, swapped lunch sandwiches under rusted bleachers, and made promises to stay together forever. Now, 8 years later, that boy she once protected with her laughter was accused of armed robbery, his future hanging in the balance of her gavel. On an early autumn afternoon in 2009, when the leaves of Lincoln Middle School had only just begun to turn amber, Elena first noticed the new kid. He stood by the chain-link fence, helmet under arm, his nervous eyes darting among the clusters of chattering students. His name was Amir Khan, though everyone called him AJ, short, catchy, familiar. He had moved from Karachi, Pakistan, following his mother's sudden job transfer, and found himself adrift in the sea of 8th graders. Elena, who'd spent a lifetime navigating the currents of popularity, approached him with the ease of long habit. "Hey, need someone to show you around?" she asked, extending a hand. AJ's eyes lit with relief, and the spark of friendship ignited. Over the next weeks, they chased each other on the cracked basketball courts, their sneakers sending plumes of dust into golden dusk. They traded lunchtime secrets, Elena's dream of becoming a lawyer, AJ's passion for cricket and his longing to fit in. In the space between passes and laughter, they forged a bond deeper than surface schoolyard alliances. The summer before high school, AJ visited Elena's home. They sprawled on her bedroom floor, notebooks open. Elena doodled columns of bold letters: law school, judgment, justice. AJ sketched wickets and wickets, drawn in neat rows as if marching soldiers. They imagined grand futures, Elena in a black robe, her voice commanding respect, AJ leading his team to cricket championships, cheering crowds chanting his name. Each promise fueled the other's ambition, their support a steady drumbeat beneath restless teenage hearts. But teenage lives shift like sand. The day came when Elena and AJ sat side by side for freshman orientation at Roosevelt High. Their lockers were adjacent, their schedules entwined. Yet, by winter, cracks appeared. AJ struggled in Algebra 2, Elena excelled. He felt the sting of falling behind, she found herself ascending ever higher. When AJ stumbled in geometry, he laughed it off, but behind the joke was a growing frustration. Elena, focused on advanced placement classes, failed to notice his quiet descent. Sophomore year, AJ's grades dipped. Rumors of his family's financial strain floated through the halls, his mother's overtime hours, the desk clerk job he'd taken to help pay rent. Elena, caught up in debate club and Model UN, offered help, but AJ brushed her off. "I've got it," he'd say, voice tight. On the surface, their friendship remained. They still shared cafeteria tables and Friday night movies. Beneath, distance grew, silent as nightfall. By junior year, Elena's acceptance letters rolled in. She celebrated with her parents, a scholarship to Stanford, a future of prestige. AJ, on probation for shoplifting, moved out of their old neighborhood into a cramped apartment closer to the city's industrial edge. He stopped returning her calls. Elena's congratulations turned to voicemail messages that echoed in her phone like the wind through empty corridors. In early spring of 2023, a viral news clip emerged, a masked figure holding a gun, ordering cash from a local convenience store, 3 accomplices waiting in the shadows. The camera caught the jacket, dark denim, torn elbow, a distinctive patch of crossed wickets, AJ's trademark from their high school team. Viewers paused, fans recognized the symbol, remembering AJ's meteoric rise in high school cricket. Comments erupted, "No way that's him, if it is, why?" Elena froze at her desk in the city courthouse, phone in hand, heart jolting. AJ? The boy she'd sworn to protect? 3 days later, she learned the suspect had been captured, Amir Khan, age 25, arrested on charges of armed robbery, possession of a firearm. The charges carried up to 20 years in prison. Elena couldn't recall the last time she'd heard AJ's voice. Flashes of middle school, his crooked grin after a perfect three-pointer, his earnest apology when he let her down, the way he covered her mouth to muffle her giggles during silent reading, raced through her mind. She felt guilt for the unanswered messages, for the friendship she'd allowed to slip away. In the privacy of her chambers, she spread out old photographs, 2 smiling faces at the county fair, summertime concert tickets scrawled with promises, a yearbook signed beneath her name, "Stay golden, keep me in the game." Her throat tightened. Judgment, she reminded herself. Fairness. Impartiality. As presiding judge, Elena could recuse herself, but doing so would force another jurist, with no connection, to sentence AJ. Could she bear that? She reviewed the police report, the witness statements, the surveillance footage. The prosecution's case was airtight, the torn denim jacket matched, the gun was traced to a stolen arsenal, fingerprints on the counter confirmed his presence. AJ had rung up over $2,000 in cash before fleeing. Yet defense counsel filed a claim of extenuating circumstances. AJ's mother, diagnosed with severe cardiac issues, needed an experimental surgery not covered by insurance. Her mounting medical bills pushed AJ toward desperation. On the night of the robbery, he believed they could slip in, grab cash, and pay the hospital before dawn. He insisted no one would be hurt. But when he saw the clerk's terrified face, AJ froze, then fled with the necklace he later pawned for pocket money. Elena summoned AJ for an in-camera hearing, a chance to observe him up close before sentencing. In the small, wood-paneled conference room, she watched him enter, head bowed, hands cuffed. His once vibrant eyes were dull, shadowed by regret. She spoke first, "Mr. Khan, these proceedings are confidential. You may speak freely." He swallowed hard. "Your Honor, I know what I did was wrong. I never wanted to hurt anyone. My mom, her treatments cost more than we could afford. I thought, just one job, quick and clean. I planned to return every penny before the end of the week. But everything went sideways." Elena watched tears gather in his eyes. The AJ of her memories, the loyal boy who defended her from bullies, emerged in his voice. He recounted his mother's final hospital visit, her frail hand clutching his as she whispered, "Do whatever you must, my son. Just keep me alive." Back on the bench, Elena's mind spun. The law demanded accountability. Armed robbery was a felony punishable by up to 20 years. Yet the code allowed mitigating factors: first offense, genuine necessity, demonstrable remorse. Was AJ beyond redemption, or had life's harshness driven him astray? The courtroom buzzed as the defense presented character witnesses, AJ's former teachers attesting to his brilliance, his community coach describing his volunteer work, neighbors recalling his respectful nature. The prosecution countered with the sanctity of law, the need to deter violent crime. Late that night, Elena returned to her chambers. She opened the yearbook again, tracing AJ's teenage scrawl, "To Elena, my sister in justice." A sob caught in her throat. She remembered how AJ had stood by her at every debate tournament, cheering until his voice gave out. Could she let him down now? Her clerk, knocking gently, watched her. "Your Honor." She nodded, voice soft. "We proceed in the morning." On sentencing day, the gallery overflowed. Flashbulbs popped. Reporters scribbled notes. AJ stood in the dock, thinner now, refined by regret. Elena entered, robes flowing, and the chamber fell silent. She began, "Amir Khan, you stand before this court convicted of armed robbery. The gravity of your actions